Hey guys, so yeah, I wanted to come on here and just give you my thoughts on basically, owning my PS5 for 2 months now. I should have done a month-long video update on it last month, but of course we've been busy at work and everything, and I just didn't really have the time. And as I explained in one of the videos before this, um, I'm not I'm not laid off or anything right now, nor am I scheduled to be off. Basically, as I mentioned in one of the videos, I used an unplanned absence because, long story short, as I mentioned in the previous video, me and my family had a pre-Thanksgiving get-together last night, and my older sister, who was hosting it, the one that helped me get into the job at Kohl's, told me that she was really thinking, maybe leaning more towards taking today off uh, than anything, and that's what she decided to do. She actually contacted me before we went into this day, before midnight, if you will, to say, yeah, I'm just going to stay home. And so that basically was kind of a suggestion of, and she kind of suggested, maybe you could do the same thing. But it was up to me, like, because I could have gone in and asked somebody for a ride or even walk down to the Walmart bus stop and wait for the bus there, hopefully to get there in time. And that would be about it. But instead, I just decided, you know what? I'm not going to go through that because it's the Thanksgiving week, and, obviously we're not going to be the only people using unplanned absences or paid times off that we have to basically take maybe the whole week off, or just maybe take the first Monday of the week off because of similar things and all that. So anyway, long story short, that's why I'm here today doing these videos, because I'm getting some opportunity to relax, recharge, and everything. I'll also catch up on my laundry, but also so I don't have to go through the trouble of seeing if I can get a ride or something like that, and maybe that not happening because they might have other plans. Um, but anyway, to get to the topic of this video, I wanted to talk about one of the things that this job has benefited me in getting, and that's financially, and that's the PS5, which is right down there, if you will, and there's the controller right there. And I can tell you honestly, so far from what I've played, I've only had, like, I think maybe one or two crashes, I believe. That's about it. The more recent crash was with the WWE 2K23 when I was, trying to play a game or something like that, and it just, finally, and it just basically crashed on me. It basically crashed on me. And the reason for that was because I was on the system, on the game for a very long time, trying to create and stuff like that. And I also had to help my mom out a little bit. So, that kind of, extended, how long I wanted to be on there. And the end result was the game ended up crashing when I was getting ready to play a match. Or not a match, but when I was creating an entrance, actually. When I was creating an entrance, it crashed. So I was thinking, okay, obviously that's something there. And what it was basically, I think, is because I spent too much time. And just recently they brought out a patch for the game. So I'm guessing I'm not the only one that's dealt with something like that. But outside of that, what I've played so far of the PS5, I've enjoyed. In fact, I've even bought myself, for the time being, a PlayStation Plus a subscription. I actually have had one, but I've upgraded it to premium, basically, so I can play some of the PS5 games that I've been wanting to play. And one of them, of course, is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And from what I have seen so far playing it, I haven't gotten to the Rivet part yet, but I'm going to get there. From what I've seen, it definitely lives up, as I mentioned before, it definitely lives up to all the hype people get behind it. Because if you take away the gameplay, you take away the gameplay, and a lot of people have done this here on YouTube, and just stitch all the cutscenes together, it feels like you're watching a Ratchet and Clank animated movie, maybe the sequel to the actual Ratchet and Clank movie. That's what it feels like you're watching outside of the gameplay and everything. But it looks really good. The game looks really good, and everything. And it's not the only one. There's a lot of PS4 games that I have on there, digitally, physically, that look really good. And the other benefit about the system is you can upgrade whatever PS4 game you have to PS5 if it's capable. Like I have Fight Forever, AEW Fight Forever, and I was able to upgrade it to the PS5 version. I just recently downloaded and upgraded Multiverses to the PS5 version, so when it opens up, supposedly at the start of next year, I can play that. So all of this, so I've been doing all of that. I've also been live streaming. If you will, I've been live streaming. One of the benefits about that is now you can live stream in 1080p. You could choose your resolution, of course, but 1080p is probably the best resolution you're going to get and looks good. But the one thing that really impressed me was when you're just recording footage, you're not live streaming, you're using the recording option, and what you get there, of course, is a choice of resolution. Do you want 720? Do you want 1080? Whatever. Or do you want 4K? And of course, you're going to go with 4K, especially if you want the best quality. But what really got me, though, was the fact that now not only can you record in 4K, but you can record in 4K HDR, high dynamic range. And I've always been wanting to try that out with my channel, because I've seen other people use high dynamic range with their cameras, with the footage or the software they use to really make things look, awesome and clear and dynamic, if you will, in the process. So to be able to, have that ability now to do that with the PS5 is really great. And what it does, even when you play it, even when you play the PS5 and you play games on it, it automatically goes to HDR. It does. It automatically goes to HDR. You switch over to the PS5, or you turn on the PS5, or in my case, switch over to it from another connected system, because I have one of the HDMI, I have the Philips HDMI switcher. So you switch over to the PS5, and it automatically reads what you have on, it automatically reads it when you turn it on as high dynamic range from the menu and everything. And then when you play the games, they look really good too in high dynamic range. The only time you could ever do high dynamic range outside of that with another console was the Xbox One. The Xbox One S or the Xbox One X. And the only way you could do that is if the game itself had HDR, which in my case was Mortal Kombat 11, and I think that's the same for PS4. But anyway though, to get back on track, this allows you to, like I say, play your games in HDR, your PS4 games. If you have, access to your premium account with the PlayStation Plus, if you have access to previous generational games like PS2 and all that, PS3, PS1, it lets you play those in high dynamic range too. And it really, I haven't tested any of those yet, but it really brings out a lot more life to the games. It really does. It brings out a lot more life. It brings out a lot more detail. And like I said, to be able to record in 4K is great, but to also I should say, add in HDR along with that, that's even better. Because now, when you go on your television, your smart TV, or your monitor that has high dynamic range, as a picture option, you just go to that, and you can get, the best of it. You basically get the best detail, on your television because of your recording, which I really enjoy. I really like that. So far I've been having a blast with the system. I really have. And of course, I did get my first two actual PS5 games, physically, officially bought. That being Spider-Man 2 and Sonic Superstars. I haven't played those yet, but I will. Haven't played those yet, but I will. I'm saving those kind of like for this upcoming holiday weekend to kind of really get into them. I mean, I did recently play Super Mario Wonder on the Nintendo Switch, and that's pretty good in its own right. It's actually pretty fun in its own right. As I put something back up there, but like I said, I'm saving the other two for like this weekend, just like I'm saving this Southern Comfort eggnog, for this weekend as well. Kind of keep it, ready for Thanksgiving and all that, down the line. But yeah, the games look really good. They look really good. Like I said, I've been, because if you notice here on my channel, I've been recording a lot of footage with the PS5 of WWE 2K23, the PS4 version, and it looks tremendous. It looks tremendous. It's very smooth in transition and everything. The loading time is not too long, which I enjoy, and I'm sure others enjoy it as well. It's not too long, and so far, so far so good. Yeah, it did go through a recent system update. It's probably going to go through more, but I thoroughly enjoy what I'm playing here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else they'll do with it. Now, I know they're bringing out something else. I know they're bringing out, and it's a tradition for PlayStation to do this. They're bringing out a slim version of both the disc and digital versions. I think one of them, I think the digital version has the option to add a disc drive. Like you may have to buy it separate or something. I'm not really sure about that, but I'm looking forward to whatever updates they have upcoming in the future. As well, but so far, like I said, I've been enjoying this, and it's fun. The internet connection is not bad. It's fast loading, especially especially with digital and disc. Some of the discs are able to load quickly. That's really nice, really cool. So I'm really happy with the system, and the way it fits under my television, as you saw there, under my stand. It's perfect. And I have that little stand that came with it, that lets you prop it up either sideways or, upwards. Either let you prop it vertically or horizontally. And I have that basically holding it up, vertically, no, horizontally, or whatever it's, sideways. I have it holding it sideways just above the PS4. Just so like there's no overheating or anything, which I don't think it would do. I don't think it would do that or anything like that. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just glad to have the system in my collection now, and it's really a fun system. As far as maybe the Portal goes, a lot of people are going to talk about that, and I think that's kind of getting some mixed reviews. Some like it, some don't. For me, I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up because I look at the fact that the Portal is basically PlayStation's answer to a Nintendo Switch. That's what it is. Because even though it may not have a dock like this does, even though it may not have a dock, it to me is basically their answer to the Switch. So by basically them saying, hey, look, you can take your PS5 games on the go, and even your PS4 games. Because I think it said on the box. Because I was watching Mad Little Pixel talk about it and show it off. It even said it's compatible with the PS4. So, that's something to look into as well. But to me, I think it's, like I said, I think it's just their answer to the Switch right there. I think it's just their answer to the Switch, and it's their way of saying, hey, we know the Switch allows you to play in 1080p on your television, but does it allow you to play in 1080p on the go? So that's basically what this is about. It's basically their answer to saying, hey, look, we're giving you a Switch-like experience, but with higher quality. But to me, it's kind of a toss-up to see maybe whether or not I'd get it and everything. Honestly, I'd probably get the PSVR 2 before I get that, but then again, that's a little expensive, so we'll see what happens. But overall, I just wanted to come on here and let you know that for the past 2 months, I've enjoyed my system. It's really fun. The only thing I think happens with, and I've noticed this with the 2K23 game, because maybe there was a little smudge on it, but I didn't notice it, in the most recent time I played it. But I did notice this with it before. And in the 2K23 game, they have the music tracks, right? Well, apparently, one music track, anytime it plays, the screen goes blank on the system, on the game. It's not the system that's shorting out, it's the game. The game seems to go blank, but then when I look at the disc, I'm like, well, there's nothing wrong with it. The smudge is gone or something. But when I did notice it, I'm thinking, is that little tiny smudge that's barely noticeable the reason? Well, after the patch went through, it looks like everything is fine. So I'm guessing it had to be something on their end. I'm not really sure. But outside of that, though, the games I played on it look really good, and I'm gonna add more to my PS5 collection. Physically down the line, we'll just have to see what games are available. Because technically, I do have 3 PS5 games, except one of them's a physical PS4 game that I upgraded to PS5 digitally, and that's, like I said, Fight Forever. And the other ones I do have, from what I can tell, is the Cowabunga collection for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Those are the ones that are PS5 upgradable, that I have as physical PS4 games. So over time I may do those and I may not. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But outside of that, just wanted to come on here, let you guys know how I've been, let you guys know my progress with the PS5 and how much I've been enjoying it. Let me know what your thoughts are. What were your thoughts when you first got your PS5? How did you feel? How did you like it? In your first month or two playing it? What games did you like upgrading if they had PS5 capability from PS4? And what did you think about the ability to stream in 1080p as well as record in 4K HDR? Let me know down below in the comments. So the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. And until next time, guys, I am out.